Welcome to the user guide for the FR controller PLC 14 and XP or L1 system.
This is the main interface of the FR controller PLC 14. The front panel displays the current temperature, system mode, and status indicators. To set the heating temperature, press the Set button once. The display will flash, indicating the system is ready for adjustment. Use the up and down arrows to select your desired heating temperature. Once set, press Set again to confirm. The new value will appear on the main display. Next, let's configure the alarm temperature. Press and hold the Set button until the AL or alarm indicator appears. Then, adjust the temperature limit using the up and down keys. This value defines the threshold at which the system will trigger an alert if the temperature exceeds the safe range. Confirm by pressing Set once more.
The display will show flashing indicator, signaling it is in operation. The display indicates T, low, A, which represents the temperature set for the minimum alarm threshold. Also the same step for set up minimum temperature alarm set.
Press the function key repeatedly until you reach the ventilation setting mode.
Set timer according to controlled temperature. Set 1 for F1 will operate first, followed by F2 and F3. The indicator light will turn on to signify that the system is in operation. The display indicates R, cold degree C for adjusting the cooling offset. To begin, adjust the temperature and press the Set button. The cool indicator will illuminate, indicating that the operation is underway.
To enter configuration mode, press and hold both the up and down keys for a few seconds. Once the menu appears, use the arrows to scroll through constants such as sensor calibration, offset values, and control mode selection.
Initial setup for sensor reading correction. First, we focus on setting the probability for correcting sensor readings. For instance, if the temperature reading is off by 0.1, simply add 0.1 to correct it. Farms usually use one sensor for calibration settings. For example, if the temperature reading is off, add 1 if it's below 1. If the reading is too high, subtract 1. Just adjust based on the value of Celsius reading. Usually, farms only need to adjust core point 1, while core point 2 is not used. For scale, we utilize Celsius readings. For vent setting, firstly we have D. T refers to the differential temperature for fan ventilation, which can be adjusted for each stage of the ventilation process. For setup reading, adjust ventilation by 0.1 degrees Celsius at each stage. The indicator will show it's operating for each stage. This to ensure optimal airflow and temperature control. These small adjustments help prevent overheating or poor ventilation, maintaining a stable climate that supports productivity and well-being. For our vent, this indicates a reset of the ventilation set point adjustment. Simply leave it set to 0 degrees Celsius. Curve. V represents curving, a setting used to establish the temperature curve. Cal is to activate curving in temperature settings. To activate it, set the value to 1. To turn it off, simply set it to 0. This setting is designed for a maximum duration of 10 days. If wish to continue using it afterward, just need to reset it after the 10-day period. Temperature readings can be set up at both the start and the end of the day set period. Next, let's discuss heat setting. D. He refers to the reading settings that include both Celsius and Fahrenheit scales. Typically, farms utilize the Celsius measurement. Next, the Pro. Heat mean probe is designed for measuring heat. It captures temperature readings and converts them into a useful signal. Its reliability in fluctuating temperature conditions makes it an essential tool in T require real-time temperature readings. For cool settings, D, col, refers to the differential scales for cool temperatures, typically using Celsius readings. Set activation at T, on, C, and deactivation at T. Off, C for precise cooling control. This helps manage temperature, prevent overheating, and conserve energy. Regularly monitor these settings to adapt to changing conditions and enhance system efficiency. Lastly, for PLC 14, reset setting back to the original state of the system. Switch off the power line to the microprocessor, then hold INCR up button. Hold the up button until the display will show boot, and this show the system is set returns to the original state. Introducing the XPL1 system profile for thermostat control, which effectively manages heating and cooling. It features a simple on-off function with LED indicators showing the status. Adjustments are easy. Press SET to confirm changes and use increase or decrease to modify the temperature to your preference. Press Set, flashing LED on the button. The display will show the message T, set. In alternation, the value, degrees Celsius per degree Fahrenheit, temperature set. Adjust the thermostat by using the increase or decrease button and press Set to confirm. Note, configure the hot or cold parameter in constant data. The ONF parameter controls heating, HC equals 0 for heating, HC equals 1 for cooling. Next is configuration data constant setting. Press increase and decrease for more than a second on the display. Appear the short message conference. Mean configuration. Press the set button to display the message of the alternating variable along with the value that needs to be configured. In probe setting core, point 1 is correction of sensor reading. This is used to tally the sensor reading with real temperature situation. Adjust to set new value depending on the temperature that need to be tallied. Next, we have scale, which refers to measuring temperature, consists PF Celsius and Fahrenheit reading. Typically using Celsius readings on a farm. Continue to heat setting. Let's move on to the heat setting. The HC option is your control for both heating and cooling. If you press 0, you'll activate the heat setting, while pressing 1 will switch to the cool setting. Now, let's move on to the D set. This is the differential temperature setting, typically shown in Celsius. For T on, this is where you set the timer to turn on the cooling function. Set up by putting the time second for starting time to on. As for T, off, this allows you to set the time when you want the cooling to turn off.